So I want to talk about one of my favorite films, which is Charlie. And
Okay.
one might, just think that, oh, this is like a very breezy romantic film where you have the male lead who is helping people and he's moving around. Then you have the female lead who is the free bird and she falls in love with a man whom she has never met. But when I was watching this film and when I looked at Tessa, I sort of wanted to be like her because I thought that it takes immense level of bravery, a certain sense of bravery to follow your instinct and your gut to the point where you are probably willing to risk your sanity also. And I felt
Yeah.
personally that you and Tessa at the core are probably the same person, but that's what I felt. I want to ask you, do you feel like relatable to Tessa's character? Are you like that? And yeah, what was it very relatable to portray her on screen?
I think this is probably the first time I'm going to say this. Like, Tessa and me got blurred. This is the first time that has happened. Like, I remember reading the screenplay, not reading the screenplay, Martin Prakart narrated the screenplay to me. And to be honest, at the very first go, I was like, I don't want to do it. Like, that's how I was in the beginning.
Okay.
And then, like, 2 days go by, and then I was like, no, it's kind of growing on me. The idea of it and the structure of it was starting to grow on me. So I told Martin that I would love to do the role. But I remember asking Martin Prakart, why is she following him? Why? I want to know that. Like, that's the main thing, right, for her. And he's like, dude, I'm not good at explaining things. I'm good at showing things. So we were in a hotel room. So he took this 500 milliliters Bisleri bottle and the 1 liter that I had in my hand. And he put it in front of me and said, the 500 ml is Tessa and the 1 liter is Charlie. She wants to be the 1 liter. And I'm like, that's the best explanation, really. Like, from 500 to, like, the basic thing is, okay, and I don't know, now that it's been many years since the movies come out, one of the major issues or fights, or let's not say arguments, but like kind of debates that me and Martin had, also Unniyar, but Unniyar is a peach of a person. Like, he's the kind of guy who would be like, if you're thinking that, stick with it. Because it doesn't matter what I think, because you're portraying her, and stick with it,
Right.
because there's going to be magic when not everyone agrees on something. Now, what I didn't agree with is that Tessa wasn't actually in love with Charlie. Tessa was in awe of Charlie. Tessa was, so most of the time I see movies in which the woman sees a man and she's immediately in love. I'm like, how does that happen? Like, I mean, they've got to get to know each other before you fall in love. Like, admiration, I can understand. Awestruck, I can understand. Inspired, I can understand. But are you going to say love? Like, me and Martin Prakart always used to debate that. So if you notice, there are scenes where Chembin Vinod's daughter asks, who are you to Charlie? Or then Saubin's character asks, Chechi Saradara, like, who are you to him? And there is a reaction shot. And most of the time we'll debate, Martin is like, some love in your eyes. I'm like, admiration. I think it's not love. And whatever came out of my face, like on my face, was a mix of me and Martin's debate. So you'll never see me like drooling in love of a man Tessa has never seen or met, but definitely awestruck with this life that this guy is leading.
Right.
This untethered soul that he is. And it's a bonus. In my head, I'm like, it's a bonus that they travel to go together in the end, that they kind of like, they're like together. But like, like, I'm like, please don't ship them yet. They are two individual characters. Like, let them have their own journey. Okay. And about me and Tessa, I remember there were elements of who's me, because that's what Martin Prakart did, right? He didn't like tell me exactly what to perform. He said, tap into yourself. And I was like, that's what I don't want to do as an actor. It's not tap into myself. Like, I want me to be the character. That's when Unniyar would come in and have these conversations about Tessa's background and all of that. So all that was in place, except I feel like it unlocked a certain untethering in me that was already ongoing for me. Like, before Charlie happened, there were several of these really wild trips that I had done, solo trips that I had done, So that part of me, I had to go in and unlock those because that was what was expected of me. So a lot of people are like, oh my God, Parvathy, you've become like Tessa. I'm like, I was already a Tessa before I became a Tessa. So I'm like, you never know which came first.
All
It's
right.
kind of a mix at this point. So I'm like, okay, fine, Tessa, you can coexist with me. And yeah.
That's cool. So you would have been okay if Charlie and Tessa at the end would have, just
Oh,
shaken hands and
absolutely.
said, okay, bye, I met you.
I
Now,
would have been so happy. I would have been so happy. No, I mean, because I feel like this is already a path-breaking film in terms of seeing a girl who's in her element.
right.
She's someone who really thinks it's a great choice to wear two different slippers. I really think that's a fashion choice. And then I look around in this industry where people are like, no, Parvathy, you're not wearing that to an award function. I think I wore dungarees to an award function once, and I don't think I even got clicked that much on the awards. They were like, no, we are not even carrying you on a magazine. I'm like dungarees are so comfortable and so chic, and like, so my idea of style, and I feel Tessa's idea of style is very similar. The nose pin was not there in the beginning. I was going in for my very first shot and we felt something was missing. So the part that I kept feeling that I'm a lot me as Tessa, and that was bothering me. And so that was not helping me perform. So
Okay.
Samira came in with this idea, what about we give her a nose pin? And I was like, I don't want the regular nose pin. I wish, we could wear like the ring that goes inside. And she's like, but wait, I have this thing. And she comes around and she's using a small drill and God knows what she was doing. And she came with this really giant metal piece. And she's like, what about this? I'm like, whoa, that's awesome. Let's do this. And Martin Prakat is like super convenient, right? Like, I mean, he's like, do what you think is wild is what we want. And we went with it. And I realized that was actually the button of a shirt. And we were in trouble because if that falls off, we have 50 days of shoot waiting. So we had to hold on to this one was the most, well kept item in the whole shoot was like, this button shouldn't go off. It's continuity. Let's keep to it. So that was Samira's little addition to keep, like, sort of take me away from me. When I look in the mirror, it's not just me entirely. It changed the whole shape of my face. Yeah, that kind of helps me when the alankar aspect of it, when the costume and the makeup department helps me get into the character or sort of break out of me.
All right.